Alright, I'm doing this in X14, but everything should work the same as X13. These split levels are a pain. I'm glad I never have to do anything with them. All I've ever done is practice with them. I've drawn a couple just to experiment and try to find out the best way to do it. And so I'm going to suggest an alternate way of doing this house. And you can see everything here is cleaned up. But I rebuilt the foundation. And that fixed some things just by doing that. But the main thing I did was I created a second floor. And I put that bedroom on the second floor. And then this space right here is open below. So this room, I've got the rough ceiling at 24 inches. I just guessed at some of this stuff just to get it done. So this space right here is open below. And so when you go down here to the I think I hit the walkthrough button when I was clicking up on the toolbar before. When you go down here, this is rough ceiling of 56 inches. And again, I didn't pay any attention to see if that's right. But you can see how clean everything is. You've got a wall there, you've got a short wall there, that's where the open below room is. You got a tall wall up here, and then you've got your foundation wall that runs all the way across. And there's no lines anywhere. Now I did have to fiddle right where these two walls join right in here. I did have to fiddle a little bit with that, but the lines easily disappeared. And again, I just, I did this rough. The other thing I would do is you can see that there's this wall I've got set to balloon through. If I set it to automatic, you've got this little attic wall up here. And that's because your rough ceiling was the default 97 1/8, and I'm gonna add just 12 inches, and that gets the ceiling height in this room up to where the top of that wall is. The walls raise up, and you better get a better connection up here. I'll spin back around. Yeah, see, here's that. When I did that, you can see you can see these two lines right here. And if you zoom in here and you just kind of carefully, well, it was easy to do a minute ago. There. I wish Chief would clean those up by itself, but it doesn't. So anyway, that what I discovered in my experimenting with something like this, where you've got a foundation like this that's clean, where your foundation wall is the same height all the way around. What I found was that instead of doing a pony wall like you had, if you create this as an open below, a little short open below room, and let this bottom space fill in the rest. That works. The other thing you might try is, if you do want to use the pony wall stuff, make the second floor up here, and then instead of making this area a basement, just make all this one open below room, or one first floor room, and just lower the floor down. Anyway, I'm sure you're aware of this, but I'll point it out anyway. This drives me nuts. This gap right here, you've got your I'm just going to make those a little smaller. Now that gets them up underneath the fascia. But when you raise the soffit like that, this doesn't fill in. So anyway, the other thing that I noticed is that you had fiddled with the wall top and bottom heights. You know, it's real tempting just to when you see a gap like this, to take this wall and just drag it up and cover that up. And that's a bad idea, because Chief then says you're now responsible for this wall. So when it needs to do something that it would normally do automatically to this wall, it doesn't do it, because you've changed the wall. You've told Chief that you're going to manage the shape of this wall yourself. And so a really easy way is you can come over here to Edit, Reset to Defaults, All Floors, and then come down here and do Wall Top Heights and Wall Bottom Heights. I'm going to cancel. And that'll clean all that stuff up. The other thing I noticed is that you've got a porch here where you've drawn in your own slab. And because I rebuilt the foundation, I got this floor structure in here. And if you don't want that, just make this open below. And that'll clean that up. Anyway, as I said, I'm certainly no expert on these. But as I said again, I have sort of experimented with them and found that this was pretty easy to do. Having a little short first floor room, and then down here the basement. The other thing you can always do, and this is a little bit of a pain, but I'm going to send this to layout. And when you've got a line in here that you don't want, you can come up here and edit layout lines. Click that button, and then you can select a line and delete it. So if you have some of those rogue lines in here that you don't need or don't want, that's kind of a last resort. But you can clean it up that way.